Shouts out Big Steve.
What's up? What's up? Another episode of The Big Brain. I'm your host, Big Steve, like usual. I'm trying to make some money this week, gambling on MMA. And we're starting off with some regionals. First time I've done a regional show in a bit. And yeah, we'll do the UFC one as well soon enough, maybe in a day or so. Let's do a quick review of last week. We did make money again on a tough match. Things aren't easy. So we had an annoying Cage Warriors where I lost, 2,000 something. Had this Italian dude Scaroni. The fight played out close against Connor Wilson, awful fighter. Half a unit there, could have easily won. I had a bad bet on a Roscoe under 1.5. That Brazilian guy he fought, everyone's finished that guy. Heaps of them finished him under 1.5. Roscoe went the decision. So a bit of a pitiful performance. I was passing on that. It was minus 200, and then someone made the under 1.5 go to pick him. I thought there was some value there. I guess not. And then I had another good bet on the Brown Aronov under 1.5. That was a great tilting bet. Aronov hit Brown cracks him. It was $1.70, so it wasn't like super juiced. It wasn't minus 200, but it looked 80%. Aronov Brown cracks him, almost knocks him out. Aronov hits him back, face plants Brown. Brown grapples, gets in a deep rear naked choke multiple times under the chin. Looks like he's going out, toughs it out. Round 2 starts. Aronov cracks him again, and then Brown grapples and he guillotines him 5 seconds over the under. So that was tilting. Nice and good. If that won, I only would have been 1,000 down, which I easily would have made back on KSW. KSW, I swept the card, hit Miljan Zdravkovic, the Serbian hope, and the underdog that I hit before at $3.30. This time I'd hit him at $3 and $2.75 and $2.45. Just kept adding as the line kept moving. And got a knockout round 2. And then I played the Matela Kabutsky, whatever his name is, under 1.5, a pick'em, which was crazy. I think because Matela went to a 5-round decision against the guy, a Pavlak, the guy that couldn't bust the grape. They thought that he was somewhat durable. Yeah, he got knocked out in the round 1. He was just stumbling all over the place. Yeah, so I swept the card there. That was 1,500 and something back. And then I profited in UFC, I went to a wedding that week and, I got drunk and I enjoyed myself. And I kind of forgot to put in a lot of the bets. But it was a tough card. $800, I'll take it. I had no bets all week. So Chad Allahanger, I was going to live bet. I slept in because I got lit. He got wrestled round 1, which is probably why I definitely would have locked in the live bet, because I know Chalampos gasses. But doesn't matter. Nothing on the Thiago Moises. I probably would have locked in half a unit on Amarim because the line just got way out of hand. I actually had plus money McKenna and I cashed out. I didn't see any value. She was going to be a live bet. I did live bet Danny Silva at $3 something, $3.20. I only put a quarter of a unit. I won half a unit there, 700 and something. I was a little bit dusty there, still waking up. I liked Fila moneyline, didn't play it, still dusty, should have. The only pre-line money bet that I did was it doesn't go on the Chandler Nunes. That was annoying. By the time I locked that in, the line was worse and worse, and then it kind of fell forced. So I wish I didn't play that. Mike Davis didn't play anything there. I was going to play his inside the distance. Gerald Meeshot, I was going to play his 1 takedown and win, which was pick'em, same game parlay. I just had this weird feeling about the fight, so I just played Gerald Meeshot 1 takedown, $1.40, won $400 there. Macy Showson, Penny Counts, I played it doesn't go here at $3, 500 to win 1,000. I mean, that best bet of the card, really, and I barely even taped the fight. Those are my favorites. I just looked at it. I was like, I thought the over was going to be minus 200. It was even worse. So, yeah, I mean, I think there was finishing upside on both the sides. Christian Rodriguez, Isaac Bulgarian didn't play anything. I was going to live bet Christian. I had him at $4.50 in round 2. And I hung up. Because I thought Bulgarian was 2-0 up. And he was 2-0 up. That's a robbery. I don't care what anyone says. Back in the day when I started watching 2009, a little tidbit. There used to be, Phil Davis used to be losing the whole round against Lyoto Machida, and he would hit a takedown with 10 seconds to go, and the bell would go, and the refs would give him the round. Now it's, Isaac Bulgarian dominating for 4 minutes and something. He eats one knee. He lands his own leg kick that drops Christian Rodriguez, and then he eats a jab, and they give it to Christian Rodriguez because apparently now the judges hate wrestling. And that's not any better than the Phil Davis stuff, right? The one takedown with 10 seconds to go. So it's not any better than what it was before. So there needs to be a middle section, right? Control still counts or something. Anyway, OSP Kennedy, nothing there. Great result. I loved it. OSP was just, he could barely stand on his feet, and Kennedy still couldn't knock him out in round 3. Brian Bella had some round 3 sub, whatever. And yeah, threw $500 away on Tai Tuivasa round 1 and 2. I was looking at the minus 200 under 2.5 all week. I don't know. Back in the day, I would have put like 3 units on that, and I would have won easily. I don't know. I've become a bit of a weird bettor now. That would have been easy money. But either way, I mean, I only lost that and it doesn't go in Nunes fight. Yeah, but $800. It's something. It's something. Still lost a little bit with the stupid Cage Warriors result. A little bit in the negative, but turn it around. We'll turn it around. This and next week, and yeah, we're there. We're there. It's just these little mistakes here and there, little tilting results, but I need to profit in March. Steve Dixon, what's up? Dixon Sider, you going to this card? No, I'm living in Australia, man. I'm not going to Belfast. Stop wanking. Yeah, look, it's 7:50 a.m. Howdy Parky, the legend. Kennedy is the fraud we thought he was. Yeah, that's a great result. Andrew, thanks for the compliment. Pepe Silvia, sup legend. All right, let's get into it. Nate Kelly versus Jordan Elliott. I got no takes on this fight. I didn't have any takes on Nate Kelly the first time he fought. It's an amateur fight. It's a crapshoot. No way I'll lay the juice on this guy. This Jordan Elliott seems a little bit better than his first guy that he fought on PFL. Yeah, no interest. Speaking of no interest, Alfie Davis versus Oscar Osnaworth. I didn't tape this. I know Oscar. I saw that he had that split decision in his PFL debut over Louis Monarch. Yeah, Alfie really should beat this guy, but he's not really the type of guy who'll play the juice on. So let's move on. Luke Trainer versus Grant Neal. This is a popular fight. I know a few dudes, playing both sides. I know both well. I think one of my worst bets ever was Luke Trainer at juice, and against that Cameroonian Simon Biong, and I was so confident, that Luke Trainer can't lose that fight. Simon Biong is awful, and I think after that upset, I actually thought Simon's better than he was, and then he proceeds to go and lose to Jose Augusto, who's a small light heavyweight. And yeah, I mean, he looked kind of flaky. Luke Trainer there is getting dropped. He did get his back multiple times. Yeah, it's hard to really take anything from him. He's fought nobodies before that, and after this Simon Biong beats him, he fights nobodies after that. I guess you can say Solon Colby is someone, but I'm not too impressed with that guy either. He's just trains with Baylor. That's all you need to know. He's just a aggressive wrestler that hits hard, and they've just been feeding him cans, really. So, yeah. On the other side, Grant Neal moving back up to light heavyweight, and he's been a money train for me. I played him against Christian Edwards. When everyone was taking the Edwards dog shot because Edwards is so much bigger than him, and he just mauled him. I actually didn't play the Carl or the Romero Cotton fights, but yeah, Romero Cotton, really good wrestling background, and yeah, Neal just threw him around. So he's a really explosive dude. He's young as well. He's 27, 28. I don't know. It's a fight that I can't really get a read on. Grant Neal is proven. He's proven against good opponents. He's gone long. He's explosive. He's faster. He's a good wrestler. Luke Trainer, he's just a backpack merchant, and yeah, I've seen him get knocked out. I've seen him get dropped. I don't know. It feels like an accurately lined fight. I did pass fading Solomon Colby as well, which probably should have faded him there. And I guess, maybe you can backpack Neal here too. I didn't watch the Alex Polizzi fight. I did play Polizzi there. I was a little bit lucky. But Polizzi's a much better wrestler than Grant Neal. I don't know. Weird fight. Moving on. Pardon me. Abraham Babley, Isaiah Pinston. I didn't tape this one either. Didn't have time. I think the line is accurate. Isaiah Pinston's been a money train for dudes. I played him against this Brazilian. Yeah, there wasn't much tape. He just seemed like he has really sharp boxing. He gassed there and he still won. And then I passed against this Denzel Freeman guy. Had like a weird feeling. And he started off strong, and then Denzel almost came back and won. So, yeah, I feel like Babley is much better. Is the best guy he's fighting. He's beat some good dudes. He's got a solid ground game. I don't know if he will gas. But yeah, I didn't go into it. I know him. I know both guys well. I feel like it's probably going to be dog or pass, but it could be accurate, so I didn't bother taping. Speaking of not taping, Nathan Kelly versus Vikas. Right. I mean, I know these guys well. The line is juiced. Nathan Kelly, I played him against the guy, and he subbed him in the round one. He usually goes under. The under is juiced. I played James Gonzalez against this Vikas guy. I played the under at Pick'em because Gonzalez doesn't finish anyone, and he ended up knocking him out. So that's kind of all we need to know. I think Kelly can finish him however he wants here, and yeah, maybe I'll look at some props. Cian Clark versus Darius Murphy. I mean, again, another squash match. This Murphy guy really hasn't fought anyone good up until he fought Taleb in PFL. And Taleb, cracked him and then guillotine choked him in under 2 minutes. The best thing he showed in that fight is that he's willing to not tap. He went out cold. But you look at all his other pro fights, 2-45, 0-2. Fights are getting flagged for potentially squash matches. 22-29. And the last guy he beat was 0-0. His amateurs are a bit better. Well, not much better, actually. There's one guy that's 5-1. And he rear naked choked at the end of in the 5th round. And the guy's 1-1 now. I don't think that's much better, to be honest. But I was going to say I was gonna watch his amateurs, and that's usually where he's fighting better guys. But it's the same. He's just bad as his pro. Yeah, Clark probably should submit him at some point. But he takes his time. This Sinus guy, he couldn't finish, and took him till end of round 3 to finish Raphael Hudson. And actually, his Jordan Barton win is the best win. I had Barton there, and Barton was winning, and then he submitted him. So props to him. Yeah, not much to say on these early ones. A bunch of squash matches. Pepe, I think Neil will be able to pace Trainer to a decision win. Yeah, he should. That's usually his path. I'd fade Clark if he fought Steve, not here though. Yeah, pretty much. I'll guillotine. Hello, Steve. Hello, Subhuman. Gaucho. Alrighty, now we're getting into the main card and into some high-level fights. James Gallagher versus Leandro Higa. Pretty much a pick'em fight. 27 versus 35-year-old. Bunch of people I know played Higa. And yeah, I guess I get it. Upon taping, I know a lot of people also try to fade James Gallagher, with James Gonzalez, who we just spoke about. That fight was also pick'em. Gallagher was coming off a massive layoff, and he was moving up to featherweight. I personally dodged that bullet, just because I taped the Patchy Meeks fight and a few others, and I thought that Gallagher is improving. He's 27. I didn't think the layoff would do him much harm, more than it will do good, right? There was a few fights that got cancelled, not due to him. So, yeah, I didn't think, James Gonzalez is not the best guy. He loves to play guard a lot, and, he ended up getting mauled for all of round 1 and a part of round 2, and then Gallagher gassed, and then Gonzalez put it on him, but he still won a split. So now it's another pick'em fight. I would say Leandro Higa is better than Gonzalez, but he's 35 years old, and he's getting grounded out a lot, right? This guy's got negative takedown defense. Yeah. Caldwell, Caldwell twice, Danny Sabatello, Nikita. Yeah, these guys are good. but they're all taking him down with ease. Nikita had him in a rear naked choke. Nikita's not that great, this Russian dude. He beat Caldwell, but he really shouldn't have. He got mauled by Enrique Barzola. He almost got submitted by Brian Moore twice. It's not that good. So, the fact that he guillotined him in round 2, it's something. It's something, but I don't hold it in high regard. Can he submit James Gallagher? Yeah, maybe. Gallagher was submitted by Patchy Mix with the guillotine. But he did get out of the round 1 guillotine from Patchy when he was fresh. So there's that. If Leandro Higo's going for guillotines and Gallagher stays on top of him for a whole round, I don't know. I think we can see some more improvement from James at 27, and he's not on the big layoff again. He's fighting pretty soon after the Gonzalez win. I don't know, man. I don't know. Leandro Higo's slight favorite now. It could be a levels fight, but it could also be accurate. It looks like my camera unplugged. That's great. Whatever, we'll keep going. You don't have to look at me. James Jumping Gyms. Yeah, apparently he's in Thailand now, which, can't be worse than being in SBG, Ireland. All right, let's move on. I thought about playing Higo by submission, right? Better than relying on to win the decision, but it's not the greatest number. Someone else I played actually has a much better number by submission. Alrighty, Tim Wild, Manuel Sosa. This fight is a tough fight to get a read on. Right, Tim is a money train. I played him against Saul Rogers as a live bet. When I called up, the live bet was $23. By the time I locked my bet in, it was $11. I put $100 to win 1,000 something. It was great. But yeah, he's been a money train. Chris Gonzalez, he was an underdog. Mike Hamill, underdog, and he knocked him out, which Mike Hamill's extremely durable. So that's some weird results from this 36-year-old. He's got good get-ups. He can be taken down. He's in and out. But he has good get-ups. He can be cracked as well. He's been finished a bunch early in his career, by knockout, which makes sense looking at his defense, but we haven't really seen it recently. And, he's been submitted a bunch as well, but again, we haven't seen it recently. Showed good defense against Saul Rogers. But yeah, just a reliable guy to, if he's losing rounds, to get up and throw and steal the minutes. On the other side, Manuel Souza, this guy's a beast. Manomito, physical. He has power. He's got jiu-jitsu as well. He can be taken down. He's a little bit, reckless. He can, lose minutes until he's winning. But yeah, he's a beast. Decent level of competition. Knocked out Mauricio Ruffi, who just got signed to the UFC from Contender Series in round 2. Under Alves. Bispo's a decent guy, 17-4. Yeah, he likes the Kimura trap on the ground. He's good at getting to the back with it. And he's mostly knocked these dudes out. And then Paulo Henrique on PFL, the Challenger Series, he went to a decision where, he just kept rolling on the ground, and he was close to submitting Paulo, with the rear naked with the Kimura multiple times, and Paulo survived. I don't know how that was a split. I mean, essentially, he had all the best moments on the ground. But yeah, I don't know what to make of this fight. It's, I guess Souza can potentially knock out Wild, but he does slow down as the fight extends. Obviously, he's all muscle and he's a little bit too aggressive. Maybe Tim Wild can pace him later down the line. Now, let me check on Bet365. Oh, we got totals on Bet365. Let's go. My bad. I'm just having a look what we got. Yeah, now Sosa is an underdog. Yeah, it's definitely dog or pass for me. This could be a better fighter than a lot of the dudes Wild has fought recently. At least danger factor is there. Yeah, Sosa a pass for me, but don't have a strong lane. Might have to retape. A lot of tightly lined fights, which I guess is good, but unless you think it's accurate, then not much value. All right, Fabian Edwards versus Aaron Jeffrey, another popular fight. Fabian Edwards is now a slight favorite, or maybe he's more of a favorite. Let me just have a look. Yeah, $1.70 moderate now, $1.74. I think it's even worse on BetOnline. It was a pick'em. He was an underdog actually. Aaron Jeffrey, he is a jack of all trades. You know, he's got decent power, underrated power, I should say. He's actually thought is hard to take down. You know, he's got fights against Rex Harris in CFFC. He's no one can take. You know, he can't get taken down for 5 rounds, and uh, Huckleberry, whatever the hell his name is, Hornbuckle couldn't take him down either. And I'm just Huck Buddy, pardon me, couldn't take him down, and he had good takedown and get ups against Andrei Petrosky, and then John Selter just mauls him on the ground. Uh, yeah, but he's like I said, jack of all trades, really good cardio, comes on late. Um, he works the body. He's good dirty boxing, knees, elbows in the clinch. Against Dalton Roster, he just kept stuffing takedowns and landing rabbit punches in the sprawl position until he gassed them out. But yeah, he's got power. If he cracks you, like he did to Austin Wander forward, he'll knock you out. Same as Fabio Aguilar. And he'll go for a guillotine, Fabian Edwards is definitely the more athletic guy. He's even more athletic than his brother, I would say. Edwards in the UFC, southpaw, a lot of feints, good body kick, to the head, to the body and the legs. And, it can be a little bit low output. Has a lot of splits, has a lot of underwhelming fights, against Austin Wander forward. He just got taken down in every round. And he had a split before that. I forgot his name, but the guy is not a very good fighter at all. Shipman. And then, I think his run is a bit glossed over, the knocking out washed Lyoto Machida, beating Charlie Ward, who's nobody. And, I think he called Gegard Mousasi at the best possible time that would look like a completely washed Gegard. He just outstruck him, which I didn't expect, and obviously took him down in the certain right moments and backpacked him and won. Gegard's always had issues with takedown defense, so that was no surprise. But just to see Edwards put on a 5-round game plan like that when he couldn't beat Austin and Shipman, it was a bit surprising. And then he was doing all right against Eblen, then got knocked out. So he does have chin issues. Yeah, I don't know. Another fight that was pick him, and now Edwards is slightly favored. I would personally rather trust Jeffrey, with my money. I still think that Edwards has some flakiness in him. He's probably going to be winning minutes with his kicks, but Jeffrey's gonna pressure him, and he's durable. He's got the power. And people say Edwards is probably going to take him down. I don't think Jeffrey's takedowns are that bad, despite what John Salter fight showed. Yeah, it's another one of these fights that's probably accurately lined accurately, and tough to get a strong read on it. But it's Jeffrey or pass for me. Do we have any over-unders? No. Let me just see. Alrighty. Let's move on. Patricio Pitbull, Jeremy Kennedy. This is a solid fight, one of the better fights of the week, including UFC. Pitbull is coming back after 2 losses to Suzuki up at lightweight and Sergio Pettis down at bantamweight. So strange, hasn't fought at featherweight in a hot minute. And he's fighting Jeremy Kennedy. He was meant to fight Higo, and then because Pitbull's fight with Braga in PFL fell off, they decided to give him a title fight against Jeremy Kennedy, and they gave Higo the Gallagher fight. So yeah, does Kennedy deserve a title shot? I guess he did beat Sanchez, hurt Aaron Pico's shoulder, which I had Pico inside the distance there. That's a valuable lesson in playing the under 2.5 instead. Even though I never thought Kennedy has any finishing upside, I guess he did, right? Injuries happen. And Pedro Carvalho, which, I don't know who's theming this line right now. People is an underdog, which is crazy to me. There must be some inside knowledge. Hopefully the people that are playing Kennedy, I know some people in the Discord that are playing Kennedy, and I want to know their thoughts. Hopefully it's not because he beat Pedro Carvalho, who is almost the most perfect matchup Kennedy would have. The worst physicality, the worst takedown defense. I played Kennedy at Juice Day, which I never would, just because it's such a perfect matchup. Pedro Carvalho even grappled with him. He gave him the clinch and just kept getting taken down. I mean, you look, he couldn't even beat Aaron Borix, who also has bad takedown defense, right? He got calf kicked there and then just kind of flaked. So yeah, it's Patricio People will pass for me. I mean, this should be an easier matchup for him than AJ McKee, than Adam Borix, maybe even Kleber, in Ryzen. Yes, he's 36 now. He's coming off 2 losses. He was knocked out. The whole bouncing back in weight. He had a neck surgery, I think, before the Pettis fight, where he says he will never be the same. Well, he says his neck will never be the same, which is pretty standard, right, when you have a surgery. But all he really has to do here is negate the grappling, which he's done a million times, right? He negated the grappling against Juan Archuleta, who I guess, sure, you can say Juan is a bantamweight, but he took him down 2 times. Juan couldn't take him down at any times at all. He kept threatening the guillotine. You go back, I mean, the fights that he lost, he got gassed. Lost to Joe Warren in 2010, whatever. He was still a split. He gassed to Pat Curran. He doesn't gas anymore. Then he beat Daniel Strauss, prime Daniel Strauss, who tried to grapple him. Daniel Vlacher knocked out. Then Daniel Strauss beat him with grappling. That was 2015. I mean, you can't take anything from these fights. Then he guillotined Strauss in the 4th fight, stopped all his takedowns. Beat Emmanuel Sanchez. Sanchez grappled him there a little bit. And then, since then, he's wrestling everyone else, right? He's wrestling Archuleta. He's just knocking out Pedro. He's knocking out Sanchez, guillotining him. AJ McKee took him down a couple of times. He took him down in round 3. People got up straight away, then dived in the guillotine, which is very tight. Then in round 5, he took him down and just held on to him for a bit. But, I mean, who's more physical, AJ McKee, right, who's now a big lightweight, or Jeremy Kennedy? And what do we have here? I just lost my thing. Yeah, and then, he beats Adam Borix easily. Yeah, I don't know, man. Kennedy, you look at Kennedy's record. We'll go through it now. I watched Kennedy's fight live against Alexander Volkanovski. I had Volkanovski by decision, and I was so pissed off there. I think it was in Melbourne. No, it was in Perth. I was so pissed off how Kennedy just flaked to Volkanovski. Right, what's his wins, right? He gets knocked out by this Laurento guy in PFL. Beats him in the rematch. Pineda guillotines him, but because he's on roids, it doesn't count. Grapples this Matt Bassett guy who has awful takedown defense. Loses to Borix. Hurts his leg with calf kicks. He doesn't really have any striking. Beats Sanchez, who again a guy with no takedown defense. The Pico fight, I see Parky telling me, was Kennedy not having moderate success versus Pico? I don't know what you count as moderate success. The fight started. Pico cracked him with a combination, and Kennedy was hurt. He looked to hate it. Went in for a takedown. Got to his back, and he was holding on to his back, and that was it. And Pico was just shaking his shoulder up and down, and pointing to his corner. My shoulder's gone. So that's pretty much it. One takedown attempt after he hurt Kennedy, and his shoulder was gone. And Kennedy was still holding on to his back. Like, he didn't take him down. He was holding on to his back for ages. But if he's going to win this, he's just going to be holding on to him, right? Which not many people have. People at featherweight is very physical. He's very physical. He might be able to do it, but I mean, right? Damage is the thing, right? Apparently, Bulgarian didn't win that round too, so hopefully damage is the thing. So hopefully people can do the same thing. But he's got calf kicks, right? Kennedy's susceptible to calf kicks. He's got big power. He hunts for that guillotine. But yeah, I'm going on in circles. It's just this line is crazy. This line is crazy. It might be. I want to know if anyone in this live chat right now has played him. I want to know why. Right, I've heard that Kennedy's bigger. Right, everyone's bigger than people. I've heard that he's more physical. That's, I want to see where he showed his physicality. Other than against people that are not physical at all, like Pedro, etc. Danny, Kennedy always looks like he's about to get knocked out, leaves his snake and stalls on his takedowns. Correct. Correct. Oh, I forgot. Actually, I forgot to say my play. So I have people by submission. It was $5.50, and I put in, I was going to put in, whatever, peanuts, but then I played to win a whole unit. So I think it was a quarter, 300 and something to win a full unit, 1,500. That's kind of my way of avoiding the money line. I mean, if he's not finishing Kennedy, he probably does look a little bit sweaty. Well, I'm just explaining it at Pepe Silvia. If he's not finishing people, it's probably looking a bit sweaty. 5 rounder. I think Kennedy does have the cardio to wrestle. With the whole low output from people, and I guarantee you, being PFL, being Bellator, their judges are probably just going to count for the stalling and stuff. Whenever I bet, damage doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I do think that submission is very, very live, very, very live, and I still might add to the money line. It's just I haven't played it because I'm a bit freaked out by the line movement, and yeah, I'm wondering if it's inside knowledge. If it's a neck injury, I already have info on that, so we'll see. But yeah, people will pass. And the main event, Corey Anderson versus Carl Moore. A bit of an underwhelming fight. Corey Anderson, massive favorite. Carl Moore, hasn't really beat anyone good. The Chadwick fight was a split. Carl Albergson almost killed him, and then he came back. Carl looked extremely off in that fight as well. This Polish guy's pretty decent, and Polizzi, I bet him there. He was massive. I thought he should really stuck the 1-2 in his face and beat him, and then he turned into a sloppy grapple fest, and he kind of slowed down and kept losing position. But yeah, Corey Anderson is proven. I hate the guy personally. I hope he fails on another title challenge attempt. I think him acting like a complete tool against Walker got him cursed. He should have beat Nemkov, and then he got the no contest. Yeah, I don't really care. Whatever. He's an extremely unlikable guy. No way I would play him as this massive juice favorite. It's Kyle Moore or pass, but I mean, I'm not playing Kyle Moore, man. This guy, he's got a lot of disadvantages, Kyle Moore, but it's in Belfast. Who knows? Maybe Corey Anderson looked pretty awful against Phil Davis. It was a massive favorite, and he still won. Phil Davis looked awful there too. And, maybe he comes in the way Carl Albergson looked against Moore, like completely washed and slow and whatever. So you never know. All these dudes in Bellator just come in looking weird in PFL. You just can't play the favorites. So if anything, I'll play the under here. The under on BetOnline he was plus 150, and yeah, Carl's been KO'd by Mario Cirilli. He was finished by Paul Craig under, and he was almost knocked out with one elbow against Carl under as well, and came back and won. And yeah, he might have a chin issue there. And Corey Anderson definitely has a chin issue. We haven't seen it in a bit. He's been hurt a bunch by Nemko, but not finished. And he's got his own power. He finished Yakshimuradov by a ground and pound. He's finished Ryan Barrow with an overhand right. So yeah, both these guys might be chinny, and potentially the finish could be live here at plus money. I am just looking at the Bet365, and they've got different totals. So maybe the 3.5 at Pick'em might be better. But yeah, that could be a play for me. I don't have strong conviction, but because I played the under in the Nemkov fight, and it was just tilting watching it go over. But who knows? I might have to play it just because I want to play something. Yeah, but that's about it. Nice and short. Nothing on the Kelly Davis, Luke Trainer fights, or the Babley, or the Kelly, or the Clark. Clark, some sort of finish. I'll have to look at the props. Higo Gallagher, I guess I'm leading Higo. I might still get around to it. Yeah, I do feel like it's a levels fight. I don't know how much value I'm getting. Sosa or pass, Jeffrey or pass, Pitbull. I got the submission there. I might lock in. I probably have to lock it in now if it's plus money and play the under in the main event. Alrighty, thanks for listening. Here we go. Danny, have you locked in Severino as a dog for Saturday UFC? I haven't heard anyone talk on that fight, but I like him at plus 150. Are you in the Discord, Danny P? Because I did mention that. You're either a spy or this is a coincidence. I haven't locked it in, but I'm still taping. But a few fights in, I thought, yeah, Severino is the side for me. Tune in for the pod, and I'll talk about it. Adam Witzak. Serso is interesting to me. He is also interesting to me too, sir. Grateful Dude. Appreciate these Bellator breakdowns. That's a very fitting name. Grateful Dude. I appreciate you listening. Parky, you're doing a UFC pod? I am, sir. I am. Another short one, hopefully. Alrighty. Like and subscribe and get the fuck out of here.